What's up, guys? Coming at you. I thought I would do the Titanic review tonight. I'm gonna go grab it, I'm gonna show it to you, and then I'm gonna talk about it. I'll be right back. For now, you can watch my daughter munch on her muffins.
Long story short, wife is cheating on
Alright, so here it is.
and she's cheating on her husband.
Here it is.
And they have kids as well.
We got the front,
And then the husband and wife went
got the
over
wire on the top.
the affair guy and the fiance, and then they got in a shootout. And then the wife accidentally got hit in the throat with a bullet.
It's kind of difficult. There we go. There we go. Bam, 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 bam. Thank you, ma'am. Oh fuck, shit, damn shit. Boom, boom. All right, I'm gonna go set this back down, and then we'll talk about it.
Matthew made a frantic second 911 call from the end of the driveway shortly thereafter. He told the operator that a man had just shot his wife and that she was unresponsive and needed an ambulance. The shootout lasted.
So, it comes apart in 3 different sections. You just grab this thing and lift it, and it comes apart in 3 different sections. And then you can see the cross section of each part. Now, the reason why I put Lego in quotes in the title is a funny story happened. So, if you go onto the Lego website, it is on back order. It is $650 before tax. I was looking through and saw on Walmart they were offering it for $450. I was like, holy shit, that's like $200 off. That's like saving 30%, and ordered that bitch. Took out a loan, ordered it, because I can't just drop $400 on a whim, but I'll get it paid off, not a big deal. Ordered it. Ended up being like $523 after tax, which was close enough to the original price. And then it got here, right? One thing that I love about Legos is their presentation, their unboxing experience. It's very organized, very like with their supercar. Like, anybody that does Legos knows what I'm talking about. They're very organized with their unboxing experience, especially with bigger builds, like the Avengers Tower. Came with 3 different instructional booklets, and the Titanic is supposed to come in 3 different boxes and has 3 different books, so you do the front, the middle, and the back. And whenever I got it, it was all just a bunch of bags and 1 box. And I was like, I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be 3 boxes, so what the fuck? And then I counted the number of bags, and there were 24. And then I looked up on Lego, and there were supposed to be 46, and there was only 1 book, and there's supposed to be 3. And then I started doing my research, and it turns out I bought a fucking off-brand. I bought the AliExpress version of the Titanic. And what really chafes my ass is on AliExpress.com, you can order that for $250. So Walmart took this off-brand version of it for $250, raised it to $450, which is what made me believe it was the real thing, and sold it. Now, when you go back and read it, my dumb ass never saw the word Lego. It's fair. I fucked up. I didn't read into it enough. I fucked up. Because it clearly never stated that it was a Lego product. It said brick builder, or it avoided the word Lego. And I after going and reading the title after I received the package, I realized that. So I got the cheap knockoff. If I would have seen that it was $250, then I would have known it was a knockoff. But being at $450 and it being out for a couple of years, I thought that that was close enough. And it being sold through Walmart, that yeah, it thought it was the real thing. I get it, and it's not. Now, it's supposed to be an exact replica. It's 9,090 pieces to the T. So, does it matter? And the answer is yes. It matters a lot. Because, first of all, the instructional booklet, let me show it to you. Instead of it being 3 different books and whatnot, it's this one flimsy book here. And let me show you how they do the directions. So, they cram a lot of directions into one page. And it is very hard to unfollow. Like the opposite of Lego. Lego is very clear, very concise with their directions. And like, you know, like, say they have 2 different... They always specifically like have like a scale, you know, on the page. If you're getting 2 little like... T-pegs, I don't know what they're called, but T-pegs, right, that are 2 different sizes. On the Lego page, it'll have scale, so you can hold the piece to the scale to make sure you have the right size. This does none of that. Like, it's very hard to follow. So, the instruction booklet alone, with having so many directions on one page, and not making sure that you have the right size part, hate the booklet, okay? Now let's talk about the pieces. They are cheap-ass quality pieces, alright? I was having to use, like, you know, a Lego brick. You put the Lego brick on and it easily snaps together. These do not easily snap together. You put them on and then there's like a gap in between the pieces, and then you have to fucking put all your goddamn muscle. I was actually using my needle nose as the handle to get the middle part of the Lego piece, or AliExpress piece, down to the stuff. And then it would bend up like this. Like if you had when you were building the base of the part, you would have, you know, a section that's this big, and instead of it being straight, it would warp and go like that. So, like, I wish so hard I got the Lego one, because my review is definitely skewed on the build of this. This was painful to get through. The pieces were cheap. They did not click together well. Everything was warped. It was a pain in the ass. And whenever I got to the last 2 bags, I was definitely like, I just want to be fucking done with this. I'm over it. Like, it just, yes, it's an exact replica, but I wish so hard I got the Lego version. I wish I got to unbox those 3 boxes and to get those 3 different instructional booklets, because the booklets always have like a lot of information on the Titanic, and better quality pieces would have added up to a better building experience. That's just how it is. So unfortunately, my review is skewed. if I were to have the actual version, I would say this is an incredible build. You look at it and you would think that it's boring, but it's not very repetitive. I do hate building the sides, and those that have built this will know what I'm talking about. The little black panels where you have to, you know, where you look at the ship and you see the little black, like, window looking things. The, here. These black things right there. I hated that part. That part sucked because it was especially with these cheap pieces, it was, you know, grab a little ramp brick thing and then insert 2 of these, and you had to do that like 30 times, and then you would the insert had a hole that you would then put in onto a double piece, and those holes would go over, and basically you had to repeat that step a lot. You had to make a lot of those, and that was my least favorite part because that's when the cheap pieces really started to show. Were on a lot of the single smaller pieces. Like, they just wouldn't fit, they just wouldn't fucking connect, they just wouldn't go together the way that they should, and so a simple put 2 here, it made it really difficult. But the overall building experience, it was nice. Like, you build out the floor plan, you build the engines, you build the top is very detailed. The cross section, I would take it apart and show you the cross section like everybody else does, but I don't really have a big enough table to set it on. Right now, it would not fit on this table, and I don't want to fuck with it. I really don't, because it's like, it is so cheaply made that it's like, anytime I touch something, something comes loose, so I just want to leave it the fuck alone. But there's these parts, 3 different parts, where you squeeze and pull, and then it comes apart in 3 different sections, and then you just insert it back. And basically the way they did that was they just had you build like this right here, right? So that all has holes through it, and so those would interconnect with the ship, and then you send a large black piece down into it. That's how they connect. But with this being the cheap Alley Express version, I don't want to mess with it. So the biggest build I've done so far, I mean, shit, it's the second largest Lego build that's ever been made. The only thing that surpasses it is the Eiffel Tower, which I'm considering getting, but I know that one's gonna be a rough one to build. I want to get it because I think it would look really good over there in the corner on top of the table. I think that would be cool, but just to own the largest Lego thing. But I think I'm actually going to start getting supercars. So I got like 7 cars now, 7 Technic cars. And I discovered that the last 2 years, every 2 years, they've been coming out with supercars, which they're $450, and it's 3,500 pieces. So we're talking like exact replica car models. Big, like size of the table big car models. And they just came out with the McLaren. And then they have a Lamborghini, a Bugatti, and a Ferrari. I want the fucking McLaren so bad. And then I want that Lambo. And like, Technic's cool and all, especially like the little, I have a lot of the 800 piece ones. I have a 1600 piece one. I got the 1600 Formula 1 back there on the table. But the supercars are really interesting. Like, they even got like gear shifting, and they got suspension, and like exact replicas of the cars. So I think that's what I'm gonna pursue Lego wise next, are these supercars, but they're so damn expensive. But it's, if I were to have the actual Lego version of the Titanic, I would give this an 8 out of 10 on build. It's actually was fun to build. For me, for this version, I'm giving it a 5 out of 10. Just because of how much of a pain in the ass it was to actually get the pieces to go together. It really was a bitch. Like, you totally just felt the cheapness of the quality when you're building it. I know there's a lot of reviews out there comparing the two, and some people are saying that it's not a whole lot different. Dude, like, it's cheaper for a reason. The shit does not snap together right. The stuff warps. It, like, no. It is very, very infuriating to build, honestly. And that ruined the building experience for me a little bit. Those pieces being so cheap and not snapping together. And but that's not Lego's fault. That's AliExpress. So if I was dealing with the actual premium quality bricks and the Lego bricks, I would give this an 8 out of 10 because the build was actually fun. It was unique, and I just wish I had that experience of being able to unbox each box and do one section, one book at a time with more clear and concise directions, and I totally could see me giving it an 8 to 9 out of 10. But for the AliExpress version that I did, I'm going to give it a 5 because it was an absolute pain in the ass to build. It was a pain in the ass to follow. The instructions are like sometimes the way they jump don't even make sense. Like, you would assume that, like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, you would assume that 2 is going to be over here, but it's not. It's step 6, and it goes from 1 to 2 over here, and then 3, and then 4, and then 7's over here. And so, like, each step I had to count and make sure that I was actually on the right step, because following it on the page is very confusing. But we got it done. It looks good. The overall product looks good. Your average person that comes in wouldn't know any better, you know, but I'm not going to sit here and lie and say I got the Lego version. I didn't. I got the cheap, and that bums me out. It does, because, like I said, dude, $250 on the AliExpress website. I paid $500 for this, which is close to the actual price of the other one. That's why I was fooled into thinking this one was the real one, because I was like, oh, okay, so it's a couple $100 off because it's been out for a couple years. You know, like it was just high enough that I still thought it was the real thing. And somehow, some way, Walmart took a $250 AliExpress product, hiked it up to $450. I'm really kind of pissed at Walmart. I'm pissed at AliExpress. Like, how dare you? You know, like, you don't have the genius of coming up with these designs. You just replicate it and rip off Lego. That's another thing that pisses me off. I would have rather given my money to Lego, you know? Like, they're the ones that designed it, came up with it. These are just people copying them. And the colors aren't as vibrant, you know, but it does look like one hell of a piece. I mean, it fits on my dresser perfectly. I think that's where I'm going to leave it. I can't really take this camera in there. Maybe I'll be able to take a picture of it on the dresser and insert it in the video at the end or whatever. But it takes up, it's 53 inches long, so that's like 4.5 feet, and it's on my dresser, which is like 5 feet. So it perfectly takes up the dresser, and then my TV's mounted on the wall, and then I got lights behind the dresser. So with the way the wiring is, it perfectly fills that gap between the space on the wall from the dresser to the mounted TV. It looks really good where it is in my room right now. I like it. It does look good, but I had a very frustrating time with it just being lower quality pieces and whatnot. To somebody that's on a budget, do I think that this is a good idea to go after this because it's ridiculous to shell out $700 to Lego? To that, I say no. I think you should be giving your money to the original creator. Like, look, man. Honestly, this is a 9,000 piece set. Lego sells it for $650. That's not a bad price for 9,000. I know that's a huge whopping number, but normally it's 10 cents a piece. Like for my Lego Avengers Tower, it's 5,000 pieces, so it's $500. Usually if it's 1,000 pieces, it's $100. This is a 9,000 piece set that they're selling for $600, $650. They could get away with selling it for $900 if they wanted to. So I actually think that this is a well-priced Lego model. I really do. It's just that, with it being so large, yeah, it's going to cost a lot of money. And $650 I do think is honestly a steal for a 9,000 piece set. I'm not happy that I spent $500 with a lower quality version that I could have spent $250 on. Like, there's definitely a difference between $250 and $750. Is that $500 difference? If you're broke and you want the fucking thing and you're trying to save $500, is it a $500 difference? To me personally, yes, I think it is. I don't think you get that answer from somebody else. I think that they would say, no, it's really not. But the unboxing experience, the booklets, the directions, the shitty build quality, the warped pieces, I do think it's worth the extra money. For me, I'm pissed because I paid $500. If I would have just paid $150 more, I would have gotten the regular version. So, I basically paid Lego money for the wrong thing. So I'm trying to look at it from somebody's point of view that only bought this for $250. If I only spent $250 on this, then maybe I wouldn't be so harsh on it. But no, I spent a full $500 on it, and the Lego version $650. So I think you should be giving the money to the original creators. I know there's going to be people out there that are like, look, man, Lego shouldn't be charging so much, blah, blah. Dude, it's a 9,000 piece set. They could have charged $900. If you want a big set, it's going to be expensive. It sucks, but that is what it is. Lego is expensive. It's an expensive hobby. And I'm into the bigger sets. I personally don't like getting sets that are under 1,000 pieces. Because, with the Technic cars, 800 pieces, that's as low as I'll go. If you can get an 800 piece set for $50, that's a pretty good price. Because they could get away with charging $80 for that set. So, a lot of 800 piece $50 cars are out there. And I do think those are good deals. And they take about, 6 to 8 hours. So you're paying, you break down the math. If it takes you 6 hours to build a 800 piece car, and that's $50, it's a little under $10 an hour for your building experience. It's not too bad. But I like the bigger sets, 1,500 to 2,000 pieces, something that's going to keep me busy for a minute. And unfortunately, those are expensive. That's just it. That's just how it is, And so sure, is AliExpress a good option out there to rip off Lego and get a cheaper version of the Lego thing you want? I guess. If you're all right with the irritating directions and the shitty fucking Lego or the shitty brick quality, that's your opinion against mine. If you think you know, it's worth it. I think you should be giving your money to the original creators for sure. And you know, like, I know it's expensive as shit, but like, you know, it's an expensive. You're wanting a 9,000 piece build. It's gonna be expensive. If you want a 5,000 piece Avengers Tower, it's gonna be expensive. Like, you can't hound Lego about these models being expensive when they're so fucking big. Like the Avengers Tower, it is huge. Like, yeah, it's worth $500. Not only does it have a lot of unique Lego pieces, but like, they gotta make their money too, you know? I think 10 cents a piece is a fair price. Now, these supercars I'm talking about, they're getting away with a little bit. Like $450 for 3,500 pieces, that's a lot of money. I just recently bought a remote controlled Technic car that is, I think it was 800 pieces and it was $150, and I'm assuming that's because of the battery in it. There are situations where they definitely do go a little bit high, but that's because of the pieces that are in the set, you know. Like with the supercars, I'm sure some of the pieces in there are more expensive and whatnot, so they have to charge that. But I'm totally hunting down those supercars. So I give it a 5 out of 10. The building experience was nice. Like, as far as building goes, it wasn't super repetitive. The sides did suck to do, but it was cool to build each level. The amount of detail in each level was amazing. It was cool to build the engines. The top is nice. I just, you know, like the finished product, I just, like I said, my review is skewed because, like, there's a lot of gaps and there's a lot of things that just wouldn't have connected, that didn't connect as well as it would have if it was the real Lego set, you know. But they do, it is an exact replica. They have it down to the T. So, building experience for the cheap quality Legos, I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10. It was really a hassle. They really pissed me off at some points. Like, a lot. Anybody that builds the AliExpress version will know what I'm talking about. Especially the end. The last part. So once you build the front and the middle and you build the last part, that is a bitch. Working on that the entire time. And it's probably a bitch working on it on the Lego version too. It's just a frustrating section because you're putting pressure on something that has a rounded bottom. So when you put pressure on it, it moves, and so you got to make sure you hold the side, and then when you're clipping things together, like this will come off, but building experience, it wasn't as repetitive as I thought it would be. I definitely think for the Lego people out there wanting the Lego Titanic, I suggest get it. I do think that $650 to $700 for a 9,000 piece, yes, that's a lot of money, but I think that that's extremely well priced. That's a steal. They could literally charge $900 for this. So I think $650 for the Lego Titanic is a good price. And, you know, yeah. The build quality, I'm sure, with their premium bricks would have made this a way better experience. But even with the cheap bricks, the build itself, the process, it was cool. It really is. There's a lot of cool details in it, man, and it doesn't get too repetitive. I do like how it splits into 3 different parts. Like I said, I ain't gonna mess with it very much, but the wiring's cool. Everything about it is cool. It sucks that you get one book crammed with a shit ton of instructions on one page. It sucks you get cheap bricks. If you're looking to pinch pennies, do I think you should get this? I think, like, I guess it just depends on your opinions and morals. I think you should always give the original creator their money. This is a company ripping off another company. That's what this is. So, yes, I'm kind of pissed at them for that. Like, you didn't come up with this genius. You just fucking copied it, page for page, and took all the credit. And then lowered the price. Which made for a more aggravating building experience. So, do I think the Lego Titanic is worth getting? Yes, I do after building it. Do I think the AliExpress version is worth getting for $250 versus the $500 I paid? It is worth $250. Like, if we're just talking facts and numbers, yes. Getting a 9,000 piece set for $250 is a damn good deal. But not only are you ripping off Lego, you're gonna deal with a very, very infuriating instruction manual. You're gonna deal with a lot of cheap bricks that don't want to go together. I literally had to use all my strength, and I have fucked my nails to hell, and my fingertips, and like they're all like I can't feel that on. Whenever I'm scratching my index finger, I can't feel it because it's so, like, hard and, like, because I literally, each time there was a put two singles on one piece, like, they just would not go. Like, I don't know how to explain it. People that are familiar with Legos will know what I mean. Like, it just would not do what you wanted it to do, and then you would get it there, and then you'd see a gap, and you're like, that's not pressed all the way down, and then you would have to use all your fucking strength to get it all pressed down, especially like flat panel pieces, like flat eight pieces pressing down. Like, you'd press it and it would go down on the ends, but the middle would not be technically all the way down. So then you gotta press it with all your fucking force to get the middle down in there, and then it would warp the... So, like, $225, you're saving $500, but you're definitely getting a more frustrating build experience, and I would much rather spend the extra money, go to the right person who actually made the model, and have a better building experience. Because I can tell, if this were actual premium bricks, that this would have been a great build, this would have been a great time, but instead it was very, very frustrating. So, Lego version, which I haven't touched, but I have seen every piece, I'm going to go ahead and say would be an 8, 9 out of 10 build. This version, I'm going to give it a 5. I'm satisfied with the results, but I'm scared to touch it because I feel like it's going to fall apart. And, you know, like, fuck Walmart for taking something that's $250, raising it to $450. Like I said, the price was close enough that I thought it was genuinely Lego, and, you know, got bamboozled. I was like, oh, okay, well, so it's like 150 less. That's cool. It was close enough that I thought maybe that I was getting a good deal on the Lego thing, and so I went after it without hesitation. And I've seen reports out there of it missing pieces. Mine didn't miss any pieces. When I open the bags, and here's my advice to any Lego builders, get you, like, you know, like Tupperware, you know, those square Tupperware containers that come in, like, sets. Open the bag over Tupperware. Because I've seen a lot of people complaining of sets missing pieces. I have never had a missing piece in a set, ever. I open it over a container, dump everything into a container, make sure every piece is out of every bag, and I pay full attention to where all the pieces are. I'm not saying that people out there don't, and that they legitimately could have had missing pieces. I'm just saying I suggest definitely putting it into a container and opening the bag over a container, because it is very easy for one tiny piece to just land on the ground, fly under the couch, you know. and then you think the piece is missing when really it just... Anyway. God, I wish this review could just be a Lego review, but I'm trying to review it. I'm trying to review it based on what it is, but the experience I had with it was just not that great. But I know it would have not been that way if it was Lego. So get the Lego version for sure. If it were the Lego version, this would have been an 8 or 9 build for me because the build was fun, not repetitive. I'm a perfectionist, so it was kind of hell. I seen a video titled, like, the Lego Titanic is a perfectionist nightmare. That could not be more true. It really is. It is a fun build. It looks very, very good. But the cheap version was not. Don't screw up like me. Now, if you're wanting to know if the AliExpress is worth saving the extra bucks, in my opinion, like I said, no. I don't think having a page with instructions that are hard to follow and cheap bricks is worth skimping out on the money. I mean, we can have differing opinions. I've seen people out there that say they only buy the AliExpress version, the Legos, because fuck Lego for charging so much. I think that's a stupid mindset. You are giving somebody money for copying a product instead of giving it to the original creator because the creator is charging a fair price for their... I don't think Lego overprices their shit, y'all. I think if you pay attention to the price to piece ratio, like especially with the Titanic, $650 is a good deal for 9,000 pieces. So yeah, there you go. There it is. If this were the Lego, I know that the building experience would have been better. It would have been more concise. It would have been more neat. It would have been more organized. So Lego, I would give 8 or 9 build experience. For the AliExpress, I'm going to give it a 5. And I don't get to say that I only spent $250 on it. You know, that's what really grinds my gears. Is I damn near paid the full price for the Lego one just to get the cheaper one. So if I would have only spent $250 on this, maybe my opinion would be a little bit different. But I didn't. I spent $500. So, but even if I only spent $250, like, you get what you pay for. How about that? Like, at the end of the day, you got named brand products and you got off-brand products. You get what you pay for. The AliExpress, if you want a fucking cheap, infuriating building experience, if you want to get confused every page because of the way they lay out their directions, have at it. If you want to pinch pennies, I think you should give the original creators their money. But it is a hell of a design. I give Lego props to their design because it is incredibly detailed, incredibly designed, not super repetitive, fun to build. I just wish I actually had the premium bricks and not the excruciating, shitty, I don't want to fucking go or stay cheap AliExpress bricks. So that's my review, I suppose. I don't know if that could have been any more confusing. Amazing product. I think the Lego version, amazing product, and is fairly priced. Because the Lego version would literally be better than what I'm seeing now. So if it's... I'm satisfied with the, final product, the way it looks. It looks great. And Lego's version would look even better. So for Lego, 8 or 9 on the build and overall satisfaction. For AliExpress, I'm giving it a 5. For you Lego enthusiasts out there or AliExpress enthusiasts or whatever. It was an interesting time. It took me, I actually got it done pretty quick. I pulled a rib, so I had a week off work, and in 2 days, I got the first and middle done. And then the third part, which is a lot, which the third part is a lot. It took me throughout the week working on it a couple hours every night. So I would say in total it probably took me about 30 hours to build. Because, 2 days in a row I built it for like 10 hours straight. And then, so probably about 30 hours. It looks great. Beautiful engineering. I know there's a YouTuber on here that actually worked at Lego, and there's a little piece in there dedicated to him. You can move the little fans in the back. I don't know how you do that from the top. I think you have to open the section to move the fans in the back. I could be wrong. I have to investigate it more. If that is the case, that's kind of dumb. You can pop the engines out. And then you can wind up the lines. You can wind and unwind the lines. That's pretty neat. It really is a cool design, cool build, so I gotta hand it to Lego. Like, they designed a fantastic product, and it's huge. I just wish I actually got their version. AliExpress, you copy people and you give people dog shit. Just so you know, in case you're watching this video, which you're probably not. Your cheap bricks are a fucking joke. Your instruction manuals are a fucking joke. The way you package your product is a fucking joke. Just everything, like, if you're a Lego enthusiast, like, I love the unboxing experience, like I said, and this was just one box, all the pieces thrown in there, some of them bent already, and, not impressed with AliExpress, but I'm not going to give Lego a bad review or say that this Titanic sucked, because I can see what it would have been. So 9 on that, but what I actually had to deal with AliExpress version, totally giving it a 5. I'm happy with how it looks, but it was kind of infuriating at times to build. And spend the extra money. Yeah, give the people that made it their money, dude. Getting a 9,000 piece set for $250, that's like if you think Lego is wrong for charging $600-700 for a 9,000 piece set, they gotta make money too. That's actually a steal. They could charge $900 if they wanted to. That's actually pretty damn good. You're not expecting to get a 9,000 piece set for a couple $100 is you having dumb expectations. But if you want to support AliExpress and their copying and their bullshit and go with their cheaper models to pinch pennies, I'm not going to judge you for it. I'm just saying, you get what you pay for. Lego clearly would have made this a better building experience. So I give this a 5. I'm scared to touch it because I'm scared it's going to fall apart. The instructions sucked. Pieces would not stick. The bricks sucked. The colors aren't as vibrant. And there you go. Once I get the next supercar in, I'll review that. I should have been reviewing all the Lego stuff that I've built so far, but this is the first time I've had the thought to do it. I had the Avengers Tower, which is actually in these 3 totes. So I had it built and Persephone destroyed it, and so I had to put it in 3 totes. And then my ex-wife decided to throw away a handful of pieces. So not only do I not have the step-by-step guide, because each section you got a numbered bag, and then you build the pieces based off that numbered bag. Now I don't have that. I just have to throw 5,000 pieces in totes. So it takes a fucking hour to find the piece for each step. And then my ex-wife threw away pieces. So I'll sit here looking for an hour for a piece that doesn't exist, and then I gotta order that piece off Lego.com. I've had to order 4 different times now. I'm currently waiting on my 5th order. And once I get that, hopefully I'll get the Avengers Tower done. That was an incredible build experience. I enjoyed the Avengers Tower a lot. And the Technic cars I should have totally reviewed, but they're just tiny little, cars. I do have a 1600 piece Shelby GT and the 1200 piece Formula One over there, which I enjoyed quite a bit. But as far as like big pieces go, like most of the cars are small. But anyway, that's my review. I got the cheap ass version, and it was hell to build and was not clear and concise like Lego would be. But I know just based off this that the actual Lego version would have been great. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video and me ranting for a minute. But yeah, I'm satisfied with the overall product. I just, like I said, you get what you pay for, man. If you want to be skimpy and get the AliExpress, it's gonna be lower quality. The pieces suck, the instruction manuals suck, the unboxing experience ain't that great. Yeah, there it is. 5 out of 10 for me on the AliExpress version. But I can tell if I would have gotten the Lego version, this would be like a 9 on the build scale because not super repetitive, quite unique, and I enjoyed it quite a bit. Thank y'all for tuning in.